Hey everybody, what's going on? Today is Fuel Pump Sunday. Yesterday was Fuel Pump Saturday. The new fuel pump didn't work. So, here's what I did. Um, y'all are going to love this, right? Because me and my ingenuity, I didn't bring all my tools with me. I'm missing my voltmeter. I apparently left it at home. I got two of them. I got a nice green one that's got all this fancy schmancy stuff on it. It's used for testing voltage and all kinds of other stuff, like continuity to tell if you have a good relay switch in certain spots, and so on and so forth. Anyway, I left that at home, so I couldn't test the old fuel pump after I got it out with a voltage regulator, and I couldn't test the wires to plug into the new fuel pump with the voltage regulator, because you hooked a positive in the positive side and the negative onto a ground, or into the negative side, and it'll tell you how many volts you got going through there. So anyway, I put the new one on. I cleaned this one up. Where'd you go? All right. Here's the old one. Nice old Thermo King 421762, right? 421762. Focus on the numbers. Not my face. The numbers. Anyway, that's 421762, which is this thing. Now, you can get these on eBay. 40 something dollars, right? I got two for $83. I bought two because I want to put one on, have a spare, when I originally thought the fuel pump was going out, because remember, it was smoking the other day. So it quit that after I ran the Pittsburgh power through it. I said, well, it's not the fuel pump. Lo and behold, I didn't even think about it the other day. Got in the truck, APU came on, no, which is what the fuel pump sounds like as you hear the warning chime go, and then, the thing fires up. The buzzers to let you know, or the whiny noises to let you know, hey, it's about to start up, get your fingers out the daggone way. For those of y'all that don't know why that's there, because one time back in the day, somebody didn't hear the digga. They just like, oh, it's not going to come on, and stuck the finger in there and got it chopped off or something stupid, Got to get all these safety features. Anyway, so I replaced the fuel pump yesterday. Took me about an hour. Some guy was like, oh, it takes 15 minutes. Bull. Okay? I can show you the process I used. I'm going to go out there and video a little bit of it. I'm not going to show you the whole detail, because there's guys out there that have gone into detail. It's really simple. So I took the front plate off. That's it. Because I'm missing half my tools. I left them at home. I got the Torx bit to take off the front plate that with the door that opens. That's all you really need to take off, so he says. So I got the Torx bit, T27, and I got monkey wrenches. So some of these are T27 with a bolt head on it. So those are the harder to reach ones, and I used a monkey wrench on those. So it's 1, 2 on each side, or 3 on each side, and 2 in the front. And the only reason I say two on the front is that so you can get the flap, the piece with the flap, the door flap off. You don't have to drop the bottom if you don't want to. It might take a little bit longer, and I'll explain that later as well. I'm not going to go into detail. I'll show you all this, the rest of this, after this little skit I'm doing right now. So me and my genius mind, I'm like, I don't have nothing to test these with. I need a hot wire. So I went to the Pilot, and I changed my mind and came over here because there's less people parking here, and I don't like P-lots. I don't really like Loves. I mean, Loves is better. It's all a matter of opinion. But I went and bought this. Anyway, I came over here because I like peace and quiet. Even though my APU makes noise, I like peace and quiet. Imagine that. And I can sleep next to a highway nowadays. but I like peace and quiet. Anyway, so I bought this for a trailer. Kind of like for a trailer. It has this on it. I don't know what the heck this thing is for. I don't care. With this on the white wire and a red wire and a black wire. So I just needed 2 wires. I used to have a wire in here. It's missing. Apparently, I've taken stuff out and not put it back. Although it belongs at my house anyway because I do more work there. Especially now that my surprise is almost complete. I'll have a video maybe at the end of this week if I decide to finish it. Anyway, so I stripped my wires. I took my CB out. My CB's messed up anyway. Look at this. Uh-oh. Here's my faceplate. Hang on, let me flip this. I got to stop it and flip it. So I took my CB out. And look at this. Look at this sucker. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I got to take it apart and completely and redo that knob and try and fix that. Anyway, so I got the red and black wire and I stripped those. And I hot wired my red into my CB plug. And I hot wired my black into the other part of my CB plug. So they don't have any chance of making contact when I'm not making contact. Then, what you do, this is how you do this. Do not do this for extended periods. This is not a 12 volt, or at least it's not supposed to have 12 volts running through it constantly because it's like a 0.4 to 1.6 or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so I plugged this sucker in. This is the old, this is the new one. I plugged the old one in. Yeah, I'm barefoot. Shut up. I plugged the old one in and it didn't make a single noise. And now I plugged this one in and yeah, my truck is, I got all kinds of crap. Excuse me. Hold on a minute here. But look, my windows are clean. See? Well, not that one. I cleaned it at the daggum TA. And that water at the TA, I just came through that storm. Holy crap, people. That storm in Kentucky was ridiculous. Oh, if you like pork rinds, get that brand. South Carolina. But check this out. So, I'm going to show y'all what this does here when you hot wire it. Like I said, don't do this kind of stuff for extended periods if you do this. This is the exact same. Look at this. Is it facing the right way? Yeah. See, because you got everything's the same. There's a cap in here so you don't get dirt in it. But there's no number on this side and the Thermo King number on this side. But I got these off of eBay. There's a hole down there. This hole's plugged. Maybe I need to pull that out. Thermo King one is open. Or is it? No, the plug's just shoved further up in there. See, look. Can't see it? Can't see it? No. Anyway, there's some kind of orange plug in there. And this thing is plugged as well. Probably some kind of testing feature. I don't know. But see, check this out. Listen to this. I don't know if y'all can hear this. Y'all might because it's real close. Make sure you put black to black. And if you look in here, in your little plugs, you can't see it, but it's like a hole because it's a male plug going into this female plug on the inside. The outside is opposite. This is a male plug and the other is a female plug. So, but the actual connections are the male connections going into the female side. So when you plug in the ground and then you plug in the hot, I know y'all heard that. So this one works. Here's the old one, right? And it's dirty on the inside, right? But you plug in the ground and then you plug in the power and there's nothing. It doesn't do a thing. And the thing with these little guys, they're plastic in the inside. I'm gonna take this apart when I get home. I'm gonna tear this sucker apart. I'm gonna beat it with a hammer if I have to. No, because then I won't know what broke inside. anyway, that I was told they're plastic on the inside, so I'm going to keep this in its box, and I'm going to, I don't know if I can get my money back on the other one. It's been a while since I purchased it. I can tell you exactly. Hold on, let me pause this. All right, so 2 fuel pumps I purchased October 3rd for $83.46. That includes shipping and handling and everything, right? Labor, at least 2 hours labor, and y'all know what Thermo King charges. My guess, I'm gonna save at least $200 to $400. Although I'm gonna order 2 more. I'm gonna test them when I get them home. But I'm also gonna test this other one when I take it out. Actually, no, I can't test it before I take it out because of the fact that I don't have a wire long enough unless I use jumper cables, and I'm not that crazy. I'll do some crazy stuff, but that's a little bit too crazy for me. So yeah, the fuel pumps. This has, I'll tell you the exact hours later. This new one, this pump was changed at 9,175 hours. I now have approximately 13,500 to 14,000 hours on it. So you got to figure I got 5,000, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 5,300 hours out of this other fuel pump. And the original one had 9,175 hours on it. You should use Thermo King original products. That's why we put them in there, because they last longer. Then why did this one only last 5,000 hours? Because it says Thermo King on it. Idiots. Anyway, let's get down to brass tacks here. I got to go use some monkey wrenches. It's funny because what I've been doing on the part I can't reach is I'll take this, not this one, I'll take the star bit, right? I take the star bit, and because my screwdriver, where's my screwdriver at? Is an attachment, right? It has the attachment thing. Oh, good Lord. I'll put it up here. See how long she is? But see, there's a reason for that. Because it can get even longer. So my problem with this is it only reaches the cab side. The rear side toward the drives has a mud flap. It comes right here. And the bottom bolt, the bottom screw I can reach, but the others I have to literally take a monkey wrench because I don't have a freaking 11 millimeter, 11 and a half, whatever it is that fits on these, or a 1/4 inch wrench box end to put on here. And I don't have my adapter to use my ratchet. So people, if you work on your equipment, don't forget your tools. And if you bring tools, make sure you bring everything that's going to break down, because you know what's going to break down on your vehicle. Anyway, I don't know. I took everything, all the box ends out of my toolbox the other day and threw them back in my toolbox because I'm like, well, there's no reason for these to be here. And of course there was a reason for them to be there. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all in a minute. I'll show y'all what I'm doing. All right, people. So I put the new fuel pump on. It did nothing. Although I could hear it click. Oh man, it's feel good. I researched and researched and researched, and nobody would answer my question. And finally, I got someone to tell me that the fuel pump you buy on Fleabay, you have to reverse these wires because positive is negative and negative is positive on this here APU. So we're going to reverse these wires, and I'm going to do one of two things here. I'm going to try and take them out of this. I think I can take them out of this. If that doesn't work, what's going to happen is I'm going to snip them in half. This is how you do this. Or one of the ways. I mean, there's multiple ways. You can snip them in half, swap the wires on, like snip right about here, halfway down the line, strip it, wire them together, clamp them back together one of these, use a male-female, because, you know, if you haven't go out again, you're going to have to do it again. So if I have to do it this way, I'm going to use male female. If not, guess where I'm at? Y'all know what that is? On a totally different subject. That's my new house. My new house, people. I got a house. Anyway, so, and I have a place to park my truck. Ain't that purty? Anyway, away we go. Alright, when you're stripping these, you don't need to strip a lot. And I'm going to use red on both because I don't have, these are one size. Each one of them is a different size. And they get larger as they go. So, we're just going to do one. And then, best way to do it, get your little clip. You got to measure it. You're only going to need a little bit. You don't want to trim this thing all the way up so your thing is sticking all the way through. You don't want to do that. I have limited things right here right now because, yeah, that's my new house, but I haven't moved anything over here. We're not moving until January. There's some tenants in here that are going to be out on the 27th. So, anyway, you want to cut about this much off. A very tiny slit. Just so you can get enough of a bite. And yeah, my good wire cutters, I don't know what happened to them. My good wire cutters actually have a crimper on them. Just for this. Alright, tiny bit. See how small that is? So small it won't even focus on my phone. Alright, and then give it a little swirl, and when it stays together, stick her in the hole. And it should have, I mean, you don't really need that. See, I cut too much off. But the wire should stop it at a certain point. You want this thing making, I did cut too much off. That's more than the other one. Focus on this, right here. Focus on this. There you go. So it's a little hair long, a hair too long, but we're going to run with it. And flat end of the wire cutters will work. As you can tell, they aren't 100% together, but we just need enough to where when you pinch it, squeeze the tar out of that sucker. Do both sides. And if you don't trust your wire cutters, do it down on the end as well. And there you have it, folks. 2 ends. Now what you can do is you can cut one longer, like if you have to do this on this end, instead of splitting it together, do one further up the line, and one here and one up here. That way when you put them back together and you run some tape around them, if the tape should fray or whatever, if you run tape, if you run heat shrink, it'll be different. But we want to be able to take these apart again. So that's why I'm doing it like this, like I said. I'll put this back on here. I tried to take these out. These, I took one out, but these are in here pretty good, and I didn't want to completely mess it up. I don't know where I put the other fuel pump that came out originally. So, and we want to take red ones because red ones mix up with the red ones. Unfortunately, I wish I had black ones too, but I don't. So again, do the measuring. Of course, if you've done 1 or 2, you should know where your cut should be. We know we did a little long last time, so we want to cut. Watch the length, right about there. Yank it off. Now, look how short that one is. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I can. So, do a little twist. She tries to spread the wires. Try to spread a little bit. There's still a little bit on there in the end. Do a little crimping. Oh, when you get done, forgot to tell you, give a little tug. Because if you see what I mean, if you did it wrong, we're not going to be able to get that back in there. So it helps if you put like a little dab of, now you're doing this home style, so I could just join the wires together. That was actually a little bit strong of a tug, but you know, the other way to do it is wire them together. Just, you know, strip them and twist them together, and then put like a heat shrink tube on them. There's multiple ways, like I said, multiple ways of doing this. Multiple ways of holding your mouth right. Just crimp as far as we can here, and it's because I don't have the thingamajig. The wire cutters that have the crimper in them, they will actually, the end here, alright, this part, come on, she don't want to focus. Well, let me do it this way. Oh, you can't see it there. Now if you look in the hole, this will flatten, but the wire cutters, or the way it's done properly, is this will actually, both sides will actually round out, kind of like smaller circles. Like you got the circle there, but there'll be two of them side by side. So, yeah. So we could just squeeze one end. This will help secure it, maybe. I don't know. As long as it works, I don't really care right now. I'll fix it 100% later if I have to. Alright. And last but not least, the last one. I won't know if it's going to work until my wife gets back. I left my keys to the truck at the house somehow. Oh, because I switched pants. So she's got to go grab the keys out of my pants. And this one does not want to work. But anyway, yeah, so we found this home. A little over 8 acres. 5 bedroom, 2.5 bath. What else we got here? The stove is gas and electric, and it was a very inexpensive home. So my requirement that I need on a daily, weekly basis only goes up. The daily basis only goes up to about $30 or something, but it's on a 6-day-a-week shot. So I got about $200 extra I have to make, but I already had my expectations on my amount I have to make really high. So now we're going to plug this in, opposite sides. Get in there. Alrighty. There we go. Let me squeeze these on this side a little better. Now, the thing with this is nobody's going to be pulling on these, so they shouldn't come apart. If they come apart, you did something wrong. I've never had these things come apart on me. I don't use them that often, but they don't come apart on me. Alright. Said the guy who had it come apart. So I stuck it in there, and as I was taping it, it came apart. So we have one side done. Taped up, nice and fairly neat. Nice and tight. My problem was I was pulling on this as I was going, so I kind of wired this in here now. I made it a little bit longer, stuck it through the hole, folded it over. Alright, that's another way to do this and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Of course, my red thingy isn't going to go over the top no more. Maybe a little bit. A little bit messy. I don't care. Screw you guys. Now we are there. Plug that in. And remember, this is the kind of an easy way to do it for me, because as I said, when this fuel pump goes out again, and it will, because it's made in China. Come on, man. Get off of there. This way all we got to do is unplug the old switch and like from this side, and put the new fuel pump in there and just wire 2 things up instead of all of them, all 4 things. Come on, man, work with me here. Awful lot of traffic right now, I guess because it's end of the day. But yeah, like I said, I got me 8 acres and I got me some hunting property. So they say there's some pretty good deer over here. We know pretty much all the neighbors, all of our neighbors, or if you want to call them that, out in the middle of nowhere out here. Boy, I can't wait to do some shooting before the end of the season. All right, now we're going over here, if I can get it, and show y'all. Maybe, I don't know. Doesn't look like it's in the right spot. There, how about right there? Okay, so phones are not made to be sitting in here like this. You can see the switches. Maybe it'll stay there. But then I can't see what I'm. Well, yeah, I can use the camera to see what I'm doing. If you got a watch on, you might want to take it off. It's gonna get scuffed up, maybe. And the other problem is getting this in here. So I'm going to have to do it from the top. Alright, now we are... Where you at? That way? Okay, sorry guys. I don't know. I got it plugged in. Now I wait for the wife to get back with the keys. Well, my wire protector is kind of coming off there. I ran some tape around it because it's too big on the end where I ran the wires together. But... yeah, so for those of you that don't know, this is a low pump? Oh, good Lord, I don't forgot the name of it. Anyway, this is just a feed pump. Your fuel will come from your line to, it feeds back to the back. Give it to Melissa. And then it comes up underneath, comes through a line here. You have a filter back there. That is it needs to be cleaned out. You have to unscrew that filter back there, take that screen out and clean it out. It might look black, that's probably soot buildup. And then you got your line, it feeds into here, comes all the way here, goes through here. You got the input line, comes up. If these are cleaned off, if they're full of dirt, you won't see it. But you got the input and the output to the fuel injectors, 2 returns. So the output comes to here, goes into here, which feeds into your injectors. And there's another pump. There's a solenoid switch. It took me forever for somebody to actually show me this stuff. That down there with that says IR for Ingersoll Rand. That's a 12. See that VOC 12? That is, let me turn y'all this way so y'all aren't looking sideways, right? That is the, sorry, this thing gets dirty, y'all. That is the solenoid. So I watched some videos, and diesels will run until you cut off the fuel supply. Gas will run until you cut off the electricity to the spark plugs. So and I didn't know all this. I looked up a bunch of stuff about engines for small engines and whatnot. So the injectors, the solenoid, it's got like a plunger. When the plunger's in, it's not getting any fuel. So that could be another thing that's bad. If you fix that and you wired it properly, and you got coming out of here, which means it's feeding this, which is feeding this, but you're still not starting, you have to check that EIR thingamabob. But we're about to find out real soon. While you got this off, you can check everything, clean stuff off and whatnot. You know, I just did a PM recently on this thing, so I don't need to do anything with that. But you really need to clean that filter down there if especially when doing a PM and whatnot, you have a drain for your antifreeze right here. That's a what you call it, might be called a petcock on these. I don't know. I had a motorcycle that had a petcock, and this is basically just a valve. You crank it clockwise and it opens up the line, and this stuff will dump down into the bottom pan if you have the bottom pan in the way. So if your antifreeze system is separate from the truck engine, then you can drain that. If it's not separate, do not open that. You will lose fluid out of your engine instead of just this. Now, if you're trying to drain stuff out of here because you've got to work on the water pump or something, you got to go into your engine compartment, and it depends on where it's at. So you'll have two lines. These two lines coming off of the back here. Well, this one here, this is for the AC unit. The shiny one's for the AC unit. This is one of the ones for the antifreeze. You got to find out where that line's going. Mine is a 2016, and the line leads into the engine compartment way up there. There's two lines with a valve, a shutoff valve on them, and those are open. Those will leak sometimes. What else is there? I mean, that's the fuel pump, basically. I mean, I don't know what else to explain to you. I got the switch on. Hopefully it's not going to come on, though, because I can't open the doors or anything. So, anyway, I took this thing off. This, you can actually see the pistons. But it was useless. I mean, it didn't matter. So, anyway, usually you'll see, like, if you do your own maintenance and you're not sure when you did it, right, get a paint marker or something and write there's around the edge here of this gold, you can write on there, write a date on here. There might be a spot on your air filter where you can write a date. That way you know what date it was done. Maybe write the hours down as well. Takes 7 quarts. My Ford F-150 takes 7 quarts of oil. Isn't that ridiculous? Anyway, guys, that's enough of the story. We're going to see if it works shortly. Here we go. Here's the test. Well, is it on? Or did I put that switch in backwards? I put the switch in backwards. The on-off switch when I put it back in. Oh, but that fuel pump's kicking now. It's going to sputter for a minute because it ain't got no fuel in it. It ain't been starting in a little while. You see that it quieted down, so it's got all the fuel up to here. Come on. Let's go. That's a lot more than what I was doing. Sorry that video was so long, people. Fuel pump's running. Y'all have a blessed day.